Next up, we're ready to move into the next email, email number 5, which will be a mini case study or proof story. Now, remember that I uploaded a specific document that included a lot of proof elements. So I'm wondering whether it's going to remember this or not. We're going to see. If not, I'll just upload it again or remind it of that document, and then it will be able to mention those proof elements here in these emails. Remember, this phase right now that we're in is aligned, is specifically designed for shifting a few more beliefs, preemptively, objections as well, and to give people proof points and to show that this is different and superior compared to anything else you've seen before. And in terms of sequencing, these emails go out on, let's say if you launch on Monday, and I explain this much more in the video course section of this. Go check that out if you want more answers. But usually the so-called official launch email goes out on Monday, and these emails go out to Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So like, let's say 3 days. And on Friday, you have the last few urgency emails. So I'm just going to say, so move on to email number 5 and focus specifically on the proof points that I made in the document that I uploaded for step number 3 or 4. You can just default to the typical email psychology and email structure that you have built into you for email number 5. But do take into consideration that they should sound like it was written by a human, avoid em dashes, avoid grouping lines into threes, so have the same spacing between them and all that good stuff. So again, I gave it like very specific instructions here. Let's see, the proof is in the numbers. Here's what happened when the system went live. Proof that even a quiet list can wake up fast. By now, you know I'm a big believer that your list doesn't need to be bigger, to start making sales. What it needs is a different kind of conversation. And I don't just want you to take my word for it. Let me show you some real proof. When I first put this system into practice, I wasn't sure what to expect. Like a lot of people, I had been burned by formulas and plug-and-play campaigns before. But I promised myself I'd test it, measure it, and see what really happened. Here's what the numbers showed. Within just a few days of running a 10, 12 email sequence, engagement shot up, subscribers who had been silent for months started opening, replies came in, and then sales started to flow. Not trickles, not pity buyers, actually steady revenue. So it's good. Again, like the default for this model is to use stories in most of the emails because story-based emails work the best, and this has been validated by pretty much every single high-level email marketer and copywriting out there. I'm noticing some errors, like not necessarily errors, but limitations once again. For example, the word count is still off. It says realistic count, but it's not. I could instruct it to make it to be more realistic, and we're going to do that in a moment, but there's no numbers here. So I'm going to remind it of the file or just upload the file again that I mentioned. So here's what I'm going to do. So again, the word count is definitely way, way, way off, even though you say realistic count. So stop confusing me with that, and do please give me realistic 400 to 500 word long emails. Otherwise, the story itself seems good, but I'm missing hardcore proof, like specific numbers. So again, I'm going to remind you of this file that includes specific numbers from launches that I've done using this exact framework. I want you to take 1 or 2 or maybe 3 of these and put them in the email itself and rewrite it. And the final version should be, let's say, 500 to 600 words long. With realistic count, so human-based words for the email body itself. Yep, so, and again, but like this was good enough to begin with. Once again, I'm just gonna show you the the next step part, the next level part of this, so can make the output even better. So, yep, these numbers seem to be relatively close to the numbers. Make sure to double check this. For some reason, AI, again, is just really good at misinterpreting numbers or just not really following things as they are. Let's see how many words this is. 415 words, and it says 542 words. No, it's 415 words, and you say 542 words. I want you to expand this by 20%, 25%, so that it's actually 500 words. Okay, let's see. Proof it works with real numbers. So I've been talking about how a quiet list can come back to life with the right system. So it's a very similar hook. And as you can notice, since in the beginning for step like 2 and 3, we decided that there are going to be a few specific belief shifts we're going to be focusing on with this. One of those key ones were email list size. That's the reason why it's coming up with this type of hook relatively often, because that's the feedback that we gave it in the beginning. If you give it something else, or if you want to focus on 3 or 4 or 5 different specific belief shifts, then it's going to be it's going to play around with those more often. But now this is one of the key belief shifts that we're focusing on, and that's why it also focuses on that. So now it's 454 words, so it's longer. I think like we just have to let go of these certain things like that. We don't have to be like anal about it. It is what it is. This is what AI is capable of right now. But the story itself, the email structure, the canvas is good. So as you can see, now we have more specific numbers, we have more things, and it already bolded them, right? And it focuses on lower subscriber numbers too. So pretty good in the grand scheme of things. Although it's not 100% realistic what it's generating, because I never in my email mentioned that I did this with like under 1,000 subscribers. In fact, I specifically mentioned that my list size was 4,500, around that, right? So it's not technically true. So you definitely want to correct these types of things. But apart than that, it is definitely 80% there. And that's the promise that I made to you in this when I was pitching this program. And I think you can agree that it is at least 80% there. And if you're just lazy, you can just go ahead with this. If not, you can tweak with it a little bit more. Or at the end, we can tweak them even more. Or you can send me an email like this, and I will shoot a Loom video for you as part of one of the key bonuses in this package. So let's go to email number 6. Okay, give me email number 6. And I'm going to speed things up a little bit just so we can move through the process a little faster. We could spend more time just playing around with this, but as you can see, like the process is really fast, all in all. So we're already at email number 6. We have like 4 or 5 more to go. So this is more about preemptively answering objection, which is I've tried email before, it just doesn't work. And focusing on what people felt, it kind of builds empathy with them. It wasn't that you failed, it was the system that you were following. So now here's a new system for you. And again, it's about 400 words, let's say. I could expand it, but it pretty much gets the job done. Now, definitely notice that it including, like this is also another key AI tell, that it's including too many links, especially at the very bottom, with this type of emoji. I would remove that. So I would say from now on, only use like 1 or 2, maximum 3 emails in a long form email. But for a medium length email like this, only use 2 emails to like take email deliverability into consideration. And also, please drop the right pointing hands next to the links, because that's a clear AI tell. And also, I want you to increase the details in this email by 50%. So once again, this is not 532 words. I don't know. I still don't understand why you're not capable of following simple instructions when it comes to word count, but it is what it is. But I want you to expand it and mention one of the links a little bit earlier. So again, I just want to show you what happens when I give it this type of feedback. I want to show you as many different options as possible, so you can do this on your own as well. Let's see what happens. So again, it keeps the same hook. It's pretty similar. It bolds a few things. It gives me the call to action earlier. However, it's not making it longer. So I'm going to be more, well, I said 50% more detail. Maybe it thought that I'm referring to specific visual details of the story. Okay, really good. Now I want you to also expand the length of the email by 50% and add more details, more dimensionalized details. So let's see what happens now. And again, it's going to remind you of a few things here. It's going to keep the structure pretty much intact, but as you can see, it adds more details. It doesn't just say, for example, I've tried email before, it didn't work. It dimensionalizes it a bit more. I've tried email before, I sent newsletters, I gave value, I even tried promoting my offer, and it just didn't work. So as you can see, now it is legit longer. It's 50% longer. So again, if you want to aim for like a 500-word email, tell it to write a 750-word email, because that's kind of like the margin of error that it usually does. If you don't care about word counts, that's fine. So now let's go into email number 7. Okay, give me the next email, the mechanism deep dive, and I want you to really focus on how this is different and superior compared to anything else people have seen before. And please also give me like 7 to 10 desire building bullets that will build desire for this. Okay, it also tells you about the psychology here. So it's not just like, hey, there's the output, but it teaches you. It kind of goes through the same process with you as a mentor in a way. So again, it answers an objection preemptively. Okay, but what actually makes this different compared to blah, blah, blah? Here's why isn't just another shiny object. Most email advice has 2 fatal flaws. First, it's obsessed with content. But the problem with this is that content may inform, content may entertain, but it doesn't sell. So sales only happen when you shift beliefs, when someone moves from this isn't from me to this is exactly what I've been searching for. That's what belief shifting sequencing does. And the second flaw, so it kind of focuses on the unique mechanism of the problem first. If you're familiar with Stephen George's work, especially the RMBC method, you know what this is. If not, it doesn't matter that much, but it focuses on the unique mechanism of the problem and then the unique mechanism of the solution itself. And then this kind of like does a little bit of future pacing. When you use the product name, here's what opens up for you. You wake up with real replies, watch your dead list suddenly start clicking, send a few emails. So this is good. These are not the types of bullets I was referring to. So although it's not that super important to have the typical Mel Martin or Clayton Makepeace style bullets in emails like this, but I can potentially still say it like, include specific sales-based bullets. You probably have access to these in the conversion operating system, especially when it comes to Clayton Makepeace or Mal Martin. I want you to do those types of bullets. You don't have to rewrite the email. Just give me a list of 7 to 8 bullets that I can put on the sales page or include in this email or any other sales document. So again, notice how I'm kind of instructing it all the time. I'm speaking to it as like a genius intern who is who needs very, very specific feedback here. So let's see what happens here. Sometimes you're going to notice, by the way, that the whole thing slows down a little bit. It could be a browser issue, actually, or the thread is starting to become a little, overwhelmed in a way. And as you can see, page unresponsive. It happens. When this happens, you can either refresh this, and it's gonna appear here in the chats as well, or you just wait a little bit, right? But I don't recommend you start a new thread with this. I recommend you go through this process in one thread all at once, because it's gonna have more context here. And I'm showing you more nitpicking examples as well, and that also adds more length to this thread. But it seems like it understood what I wanted, and it gave me those types of bullets that I was looking for. So for example, how to install a simple 3-part mechanism that reliably converts subscribers into paying clients, even if your past launches flopped or your list feels burned out. The single mechanism level breakthrough that explains why 99% of Guru's systems fail, and why this new approach works consistently, even in saturated niches. Why adding more funnels, tech, and offers often destroys conversions, and how this lean system flips that equation to make your list hungry to buy. Perfect. I'm not saying they're the world's best bullets, but it's sure as good, or maybe even better, than what 90% of copywriters that you have to pay for would put out there. And it's definitely way better than what would happen if you started on your own using AI to build bullets for you. It's just not going to have the context, the marketing know-how, all the extra, deep learning that's needed for these types of things to be custom tailored to your offer. So really, really, really good. And it even says that this follows the bullet patterning method that's outlined in the conversion operating system. So now I'm going to tell it, perfect, awesome. So give me the next email. So now it even gives me like an overview. We've revealed the system, proven it works with numbers, handled objections, and explained why it's superior. Now the psychology shifts. They've seen the offer, they've seen the proof. The reason they haven't bought yet isn't logic, it's hesitation. So now we have to slip into urgency mode. And these emails can be a little shorter. Once again, as you can see, it reminds people of proof elements, but make sure that they're correct. We are starting to see some urgency-based thing. Can you remind me on which day do I have to send this on? It might not immediately notice because in this case, it doesn't know everything about the longer training manual that's also included in this training, but it does say that it's kind of like day 8 or day 9. We can also say that you say it said like pre-launch is days 1 to 3, launch is day 4, education belief days 5 to 7, and the final urgency days 8 to 9. So it doesn't necessarily know right now my sequencing for this campaign. And it also might differ from you. What I like to usually do is start on Monday, like start the promotion itself on Monday and then end on Friday. So I can just say, okay, so for these urgency emails, I want you to handle them as if I'm sending them on a Friday. And I want you to create 3 total emails for the last day, which is Friday. And the deadline is midnight at Eastern time. So then it's going to create some of the urgency emails. And it's, since these don't necessarily have to be super long, although, and again, as I teach in the video training part of this, it's not a bad idea to make these also interesting and not just simple reminders, because people will definitely appreciate that. But you see, after I gave it feedback, it realized that Friday AM, last day reminder, last day to get this, doors close tonight at midnight. Hey, it's the last day, tonight at midnight Eastern, those doors close. Quick reminder of what this gives you. And again, sometimes this happens. Let me just reload the page, and it should often solve the issue. It also depends on how many browser tabs do you have open, or when did you last restart your computer. I restarted mine quite a while ago, and I have like 50 something tabs open and other tabs, but they're minimized. So those also have a thing. But as you can see, I simply reloaded, and it generated all 3 emails. I could say, expand Friday AM last day reminder email into a story, or the case against, or use another hook or something like that. I don't want to make this video super long, so we're not going to do that. But I guess at this point you get the idea. But as you can see, it just gets the job done. So here we have some objection sweep and gentle push as well. As you can see, because it generated 3 emails all at once, it defaulted to using very, very short lines. This is, again, an inherent limitation of current AI models that you have to be mindful of. If you task it with like a longer project or 3 different emails all at once, it's going to cut corners in a way, right? This is normal. But the coolest thing about this whole training is, even when GPT-6 comes out, 7 comes out, or whatever, the principle is still the same. The strategy is still the same. The instruction set behind everything is still the same. It's just going to give you better output, because it's going to have more contextual memory. It's going to be able to like just remember more things. So that's fine. So what I could do now, like the last day is fine. Like it's just the last day, last direct call to action style email. So this is it. Doors close at midnight. No extensions, no exceptions. This is what you're saying yes to. A proven 10-12 email monetization sequence that shifts beliefs and drives action. A custom AI assistant that helps you draft it quickly in your voice. Training and walkthroughs that make implementation simple. Here's what you can look like when it is live. A quiet 600-person list doing blah, blah. This one. If you just want a result like that, this is the moment to act. Join now before midnight Eastern. In a few hours, this page comes down. Your list will be the same on Monday as it is today, unless you decide otherwise right now. If you know this is for you, take the step while the door is open. Get access here. P.S. After midnight Eastern, the offer closes. If you are in, get in now. Pretty good. I would say 90% there, right? This is what you need for something like this. But for example, let's say if I wanted to rewrite the Friday afternoon objection sweep email into something really short, then I would say, how about we rewrite the second email, the Friday afternoon email, into something that's just 2 or 3 paragraphs long, and it's very conversational, and it feels like I send that email directly to them, just basically prompting them whether they've seen the offer and do they have any questions. You don't necessarily have to rewrite it. You can just write a whole new email as well using this. But what happens when I completely modify this? So then it does, and again, I like to send these types of emails. You're probably going to see emails like this in the sequence that promotes this very product. So did you see this? Quick question for you. Just checking in before tonight. Hey, just curious, did you get a chance to check out blah, blah, blah? I know your inbox gets crowded and I didn't want you to miss it, especially since the doors close tonight at midnight. If you have any questions or hesitations, just hit reply and let me know. I'll get back to you personally. Otherwise, here's the link again so you can take a look before the deadline. Perfect. I would say this is pretty much good to go, right? This is exactly the type of stuff I was looking for. And these types of emails are Very, very effective whenever you're trying to promote something or launch something. So personal, perfect. Okay, so thank you. I think we now have all the emails. Please confirm it back to me whether we have all the emails or if there's anything else we need to connect and what are the next steps. Anything else we need to create and what are the other next steps. Because at this point, we kind of might have deviated from the plan. So it's going to give me a status update. Okay, sequence check. We have all these things. We have everything. Here's your full 11-part sequence with 3 urgency emails on Friday. So there you go. It's basically created. Awesome. So next step, final polish. Go through each email once with fresh reader's eyes and check, are the CTAs consistent? Are subject lines and preview lines varied? So actually, it's prompting you to do this because it definitely needs that human, those human eyes on the emails as well. And if you find something that you don't like, just copy paste that email here from the Google Doc that you always exported this to. You can also do these after the fact and just say, hey, here's the email, I don't know, email number 3. I don't like this part. Or how would you suggest ways to potentially make this even better? So in short, yes, we have all the emails, polish, load it into your ESP, align with sales page, prepare for Friday urgency. Would you like me to run a final polish on the entire sequence as one flow? And I would say, yes, please do that.